Well, it's a long journey. Actually, I left Walden Avenue. We were a refinisher and distributor for DuPont with a Korean business. And we eventually became worldwide shippers for the only spot in the country that shipped worldwide for DuPont. And my contract was about to run out. And it was around election time. It was back in the 80s, I don't remember the exact year, but it was before 87. And there was a large group of minority entrepreneurs and business people and business leaders that wanted to save this factory because this factory had been converted from a brewery to a modular housing factory to restore the housing stock over at the North and South Division area where there was a blast, a propane blast that was known all over the country, probably all over the world. And I was invited to sit in on this meeting that was sanctioned by Assemblyman Arthur O'Eve, the Deputy Speaker of the New York State Assembly. And we got together, we met several times, and we wanted to keep the factory open. It was starting to slip. And it would have been a terrible loss because the factory was established to build modular homes in the neighborhood to replace the houses that had got blown up in the blast. And by the way, 5 firemen passed in the blast, and there were local residents who lived in that area that died. And there's quite a bit of dynamic history involved in that. So the Assemblyman wanted to see the housing replaced. And there was a program he had sponsored with the housing factory, which I was no part of at the time. So eventually we got to the point where we had to make a decision of what we were going to do with the factory. He was looking for investors. And I had accumulated a small amount of money, very small, and I could come to the table. But that wasn't the only reason we came, because there was a lot of incentive to help the community, and it was a community project, basically. And we got involved in it, and that's how we ended up here. When it came time to sign on the dotted line, I was the only one left in the room, so here I am today. All praises be to God.
So I met Jabril in 1980 as a mortgage loan officer, and I was assigned by my bank, M&T Bank, to do the residential mortgages, the end loans for the buyers that were purchasing homes that Jabril was building over on North and South Division and Swan Street. So that's how I became involved in this project, and then we got married, and I've been working in the business ever since. Jabril started in the construction trades over 50 years ago, starting off as a teacher, a graduate of Buff State, and from there he ended up becoming a contractor. He's performed several contracts in the city of Niagara Falls, Buffalo, Lackawanna, some of the surrounding areas. So we've been in the construction trades for a number of years, from developing to total gut rehab to demolition, asbestos abatement, lead remediation, and now we are clean energy contractors for New York State under the NYSERDA Empower New York program. So we do energy audits and we retrofit homes to make them more energy efficient. So that's where we are now. So it's been, quite a journey. Our biggest thing is training. We do a lot of on-the-job training. We've hired several people in the community. At one time when Jabril had a contract and Blaisdell and also the Korean contract, he had over 500 employees. So, and that was in the 80s. We had subway cars coming in from New York City, and they were being refurbished, and then we were refinishing Korean and diverting that from the landfills and putting that back out into the market so that they could be resold. So we've run the gamut from manufacturing to developing and renovating homes, and all the time we've always, the biggest niche has been on the job training, providing job opportunities for people in the community. So this building was built in 1864 as the former Iroquois Brewery, And the building used to run from Broadway back almost to the end of Pratt Street. So the building, the brewery was actually shut down in 1972. And then another company purchased the building and basically raped it and stole all the beautiful copper vats that made the beer and scrapped all of it. They took a mortgage out and then they raped the building and walked away from it. So then we bought the building in '85 after it had been converted to a housing modular manufacturing plant by the state. And then from there, you know, we talked about, you know, our journey with some of the work that we've done in the construction field. But this building, I mean, I walked through here and there is a lot of history here. The building is beautiful. It does need some work. We are in the pre-development stages of repurposing the building. So it is our intent to have housing here, office space, space for vendors to be able to sell their wares, and a gallery that we would like to be a museum of sorts so that we can highlight minorities from the past and current that have made contributions in this community that need to be recognized and need to be remembered so that we can share this information with our young people. The gallery area will be a place where we can have rotating shows about different people in history that we want to make sure that we highlight and put on display, whether they're musicians or philanthropists or entrepreneurs or professors. There are so many people that have done so much in the community that we want to make sure that we keep that legacy going and we share it with people as they travel, and being part of the African American Michigan corridor, African American Heritage Michigan corridor. We're like within minutes of that. So, you know, it's our hope that we can be a part of that when people travel here, that it's not just for, you know, one thing that they come in, that it'd be a destination trip for them where they can go and visit the Jesse Nash building and the Iroquois Brewery and the Colored Man's Musician Club. And we have the Underground Railroad, the Church for the Underground Railroad right down on Michigan Street. We have WAFO. So there's a lot of different things that people can visit and learn from and shop and be entertained and spend their money right in our community here on the east side of Buffalo. So it is our intent to have a restaurant here, a venue for entertainment, and like I said, housing, and a place for vendors to be able to sell their wares. We have 93,000 square feet here. So we have a lot of space, and we're excited about the opportunities that we can provide for the community. We also have some vacant land right behind 230 Pratt that is prime and ready for new development as well. So, you know, we're going to do it in phases. We're going to work with the community and see what makes sense. And like I said, we've pulled the trigger. We're working with our architect, and we're moving forward. There's historic tax credits and, you know, grants, and, you know, we have to work with the funding, and, you know, we're still finalizing the architectural drawings. We're working with UB School of Architect also, so it's exciting, but it's a journey. Buffalo's a tough town to do business in, and we learned that firsthand, even before we became contractors, as minorities in the city, known for being one of the most segregated and, you know, divisive cities in the United States. We knew our challenges that would lie ahead, but not how difficult they might be. But as a general contractor, you know, we had to fight with majority contractors to understand that when we bid our work, we perform our work. And a lot of contractors didn't understand that or refused to accept that. So, you know, we were, you know, told, well, if you're not a pass-through, what are you? Well, we're a general contractor. We're a contractor just like you are. And we have employees that we want to see work, and we're just, you know, we're not a pass-through. If we can't self-perform, then we will not bid the job. So we fought that challenge for a number of years. Now we don't have that problem per se. People know before they approach us about bidding on projects that, you know, we don't play that game. We are licensed, we're fully insured, we have bonding, so we can compete with any contractor. And, you know, when we win something, we don't win it because we're a minority. A lot of people are under the assumption that minorities, you know, get preferential treatment, that they have set-asides. They just give us, you know, work because we might be certified as a minority business enterprise, and it doesn't work like that. We have to bid competitively like any other contractor has to bid, and if we have the best responsible bid, then we're awarded the contract. But we're not just given the contract because we're a minority. So yeah, it's been a learning process, and we try to train other young contractors coming up through the ranks, and share our stories and give them guidance. We mentor a lot of young people to help avoid some of the pitfalls that we had to learn throughout the years. And so we're very passionate about working with our young people, because we have to pass the gauntlet on to them, because they're coming from behind and we want to see them be successful. So anything we can do to help lay that groundwork and share our stories to help them avoid some of the pitfalls, then we feel like we've done our job.
For the very best, I feel that DuPont was a major change in my perspective as far as business is concerned. Usually when we think of minority business, we think of inferior, unfortunately. And we got a chance to get in basically at a point where we could contribute and not be used as a tool for someone else's gain. And we did good for our people. And the DuPont contract got me in the frame of mind where I had to do more, offering jobs and things of that nature. And this was the perfect opportunity. And that one stands out quite a bit. And then we look at the situation with the blast area, with the propane blast back in the early 80s. And that's memorable. We replaced the housing stock, and it left a significant mark in the city and in the entire world as far as what can be done if you attack a problem and you attack it with a positive nature. And I'm pleased to say that there are several people who are in brand new homes built from the ground up, and most of them are from our community. I think it's of major importance that we bring and draw closer attention to Black Wall Street. And that's in commemoration of the riots and the demolition and the destruction in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as well as other cities and places where African American communities had established major business enterprises. And that was destroyed. And in honor of that occasion, but not in a negative sense, then there are certain cities throughout the United States of America where streets will be designated as Black Wall Street. And this is one of the streets that has been chosen to be called Black Wall Street, from Genesee Street to William Street on Pratt.
When we wanted to have vending for the community, so it was our idea, C&R Housing's idea, and then when we spoke with Donald Lee,
DeWitt Lee?
DeWitt.
That's his uncle, DeWitt. It evolved because it was right during that time where the Black Wall Street event was being celebrated in recognition of all of the lives and businesses that were destroyed. And so we decided to call it the Hub, Helping Unite Buffalo. And so it was our intent to provide a space for local vendors to come once a week on Thursdays from 3 to 6 p.m. and do an outreach and sell their products. So we never charge anybody. And we said we're going to do a different spin and just provide the space for vendors to come and not charge. And then it was a chance for us to network with those vendors and the community and provide information about the free weatherization services through New York State as an independent contractor. So it took off better than we could have ever thought it would take off. And we've had a lot of vendors come through, and they keep coming back. And so the weather's changing, school's back in, so we're ramping it down. Today we are doing a job fair. So we're working with local businesses that are looking for, new employees to hire. We have some food vendors downstairs as well. This will close it out for the season, and we look forward to starting again next spring. So we started in late May, and this will be the last week probably for it. And so I think that we'll definitely do it again. It's been worthwhile. And speaking of legacies, I'd just like to share one thing. Jabril has two sons. Has three, but two of his sons, Amir Shareef and Hakeem Shareef, created an endowment in his name with Buffalo State College in August in recognition of his 81st birthday. So they created an endowment for the STEM program, science, technology, engineering, and math. So every year a student will receive a scholarship. And the name of the endowment is Jabril Shareef Perseverance and Upliftment. So two students were chosen this year, just a month ago, and they both received a scholarship. So this scholarship will go into perpetuity in honor of their father. So we were really, happy and surprised. And the president of Buffalo State University, which is his alma mater, he graduated from there in 1962.
Yeah, that's good.
Yep, 1962. So, and those are the kinds of things that we want to be able to do. We want to be able to keep giving back to the community, keep reaching back and working with our young people and providing opportunities for them to advance themselves through education and through job training and employment opportunities. And so we're proud to make that mark and to continue to create other opportunities